rolling Read 'em and Weeb in 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're not the only special one around here.
Been a while since I flipped my switch on.
I need to fight him, and you can't talk me out of it.
Let me see what you got.
I'm about to kick your ass.
I can't allow myself to get beaten by someone like that.
Hello, welcome to Read 'em and Weeb. My name is Davie. This is my friend Esau. And we're reading Fullmetal Alchemist. This is, to me, where the story really pivots and the tone of the story changes. I'd argue that Nino is where the tone changes, and I think where, Ed and Al and their story changes is here in this volume. So far, I know I've brought it up, but so far I really love this book, man. Like, I'm having so much fun reading it.
So this does really well to set up. So I did bring up that 3 manga rule, and I said it does it all in that first volume, but it still continues doing that in the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
And by volume 3, you're like, everything in this world has been drip dropped.
Mm-hmm.
I have all the colors of a rainbow. Now you just need to put the stroke there.
Yeah. What I think is interesting, and I'll just say like right off the bat, what my favorite part of this is your fucking favorite joke so far, apparently. What the Philosopher's Stone is made out of. We spend the volume trying to figure out, or Ed trying to figure out like what it is that it's made out of. Yeah. And the outcome being the Philosopher's Stone is made of the human soul. It requires human lives to make it.
Right.
And that goes against Ed and Al's moral code. Like, Ed was very open to the Colonel by saying, like, I'm not going to kill for you.
Yeah.
Like,
the whole thing was bringing people back to life, not killing them.
Yeah. And they stay true to that. And they, when finding out, like, oh, I don't, like, about Philosopher's Stone, Ed and Al are like, obviously broken up about this. They're like, we can't use it. Like, everything we've been working for is fucking pointless. Like this thing is evil and we can't do it, and we have to find another way, and we don't even know if another way exists. So now we're beyond square one. We're past square one. We're before that.
In reverse. We've gotten square 0, negative 1.
Yeah. And so now there's nothing, we have nothing to go off of anymore. But that leads to the next part of like, okay, there might be more. But we'll elaborate and get to that right now. But I think that being the central theme, and I think that's where, to me, the story shifts.
Yeah.
And now the search for the Philosopher's Stone is no longer the main point of the story.
Yeah, it becomes deeper, especially because of the connections that they eventually start making. So the stuff with Winry is very good to develop both Ed as like how he is versus how he was. Also setting up Winry as just a very fun character. Winry's a very popular character in the waifu tier list, as people like to call it.
She's a very well-written, like...
female lead?
Yeah.
Or love interest, I guess?
Yeah.
She's not really a lead.
But she's, like, important... Sorry? She's, like, important to the story. She, not only both, like, narratively, but also just, like, to this world that Ed and Al live in, they can't function without her and her grandma. She's very independent in the sense that, like, she is true to herself, like... very non-stereotypical girl. She's really into mechanic, like just being a mechanic, She's not contrarian, but she's clearly like her own individual person who's not like befallen to stereotype. Yeah. She's not the fact she's not girly, but she's not like, hey, I'm a stereotypical girl. I like pink and wear dress. I cook, I clean. Yeah. And it's like, I get down and dirty, but I also like, I'm still a girl. Yeah. Like keeping femininity while being true and being non-conventional. Yeah. And being true to yourself. And I think that's really important. Like this whole book it really shows like Ed is definitely a man written by a woman. Sorry, I'm gonna say that again because I bumped the mic. Ed is definitely a man written by a woman. Say that again about my... Well, it doesn't fucking matter. I got 2 separate audio channels, bitch. No! That's for your mic, don't worry. But yeah, and it's really cool. Yeah. Like how well her character writing is, and Winry being a multifaceted person just solidifies how much I love the character writing. Like Winry is top tier female lead. Or,
yeah.
You know,
I love the bread trail that the writer uses to describe their past. Now we learn that they burned down their house after they left. We learned that while he was a suit of armor, Al had to bring up Ed to the grandma because he's missing his limbs. He's going to bleed out otherwise. We learned that through the painful surgery that he went through. And we learned this through Armstrong. And this is one of those reasons why I said isekai are so easy to write, but also very enjoyable to read, is because they're introduced from the eyes of someone who has no idea what the fuck is going on.
It feels natural that way.
Yeah. And Armstrong doesn't know jack shit about either of these brothers. So bringing him along is such a great narrative device for this. Not only because it makes sense logically, they're being hunted by a killer. It gives avenue for someone to explain exactly why Ed and Al are in their own way without forcing them to explain it themselves. They get a third party view of Ed and Al. And it's a beautiful way of writing. This writer is so fucking amazing with their foreshadowing, their breadcrumb trail. Every part of it is magnifique. Sorry, this arm is in my way. Every time I want to touch my face.
It's really funny that we sat on these sides because I'm left-handed. This problem would not be an issue for me either. But here we are. I'm left-handed. I tried to get Maya to watch Prince of Tennis. Didn't work.
Try to read.
But I got her to read Toradora. She has the books. Not to volume 4 though. Volume 4 is gonna make her not want to read it.
Here's 5 and 6. Here's 5, 6, 7. What about 4?
Yeah,
what about 4?
You don't need it.
I mean, does she? I mean, that part where Ryuji drowns is kind of
small price to pay for.
I liked that scene.
Yeah, one page in the book.
Yeah,
of this fucking. Let's rip that page out and give it to her.
It's your volume, man.
Yeah, right. I can never lend her 9 though, just to borrow that from you.
Yeah.
But
don't mind the tear marks on it. It's fine.
So that's what those were.
Oh, there were cum stains in David's. Every time the mom showed up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I
got you. What's it called? It's Tiger's mom.
I was gonna make that joke too, but she didn't show up till after 9.
One page. Yeah. Okay. So
the writing there is really good, and despite the fact they're there for so short, that is such an important scene. Going back to where he started so that someone can learn just the breadcrumbs of where he started.
But it's also, you show how like quaint his home is, it's very like quiet.
Yeah.
If he wanted to, they could live a peaceful life here, cause it's away from the main, part of the country where all of the conflict is going to happen.
Yeah.
So had he just been okay with how their circumstances were, maybe life would have been a lot, more calm, but it's that drive to not want to come back and be comfortable. I want to fix what the mistakes I've made.
Yeah.
And so burning down your house so you have nowhere to come back to is a very rash thing to do. But it's also burning the evidence of what they've done, they say it as like, so he can never turn back, but it's also like he's burning this traumatic experience. Like,
I disagree, because I feel like it's the opposite. He's not burning the traumatic experiences. He's burning the happy memories that are there.
Absolutely too. Absolutely.
Because he didn't do this in the house.
Did he not? Yeah,
no,
he did.
They did it in the barn. Didn't they?
No, I thought it was in their basement.
I don't remember. I don't know the layout of their house.
Because I didn't even know there was a fucking barn.
I thought there was a barn.
Because I remember they did it in the house. And then, because I remember, this was an anime line. I can't remember if this was in the manga. But the old woman says, like, yeah, I went over to see what they had did myself, and what I saw was not human.
Yeah, that doesn't come up till later, though.
Yeah.
But another thing we learn about Al specifically is that he has a seal on the breastplate of the armor, which begs the question: how do the parts that aren't attached to the armor, like per se, work? This is one flaw in the whole thing.
What do you mean?
Like the helmet, he sees through the helmet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it also shows once the helmet's removed, there's like something there, Like is it that he's seeing through the helmet, or is it when the helmet's put on, he's like,
Hold up. There's a scene where his head gets blown off. Which one is that? How early is that? How far do I have to scroll? Is that here?
I think it's like right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like,
And he goes, my body. No, he goes, my head. I lied. I don't think he sees. I don't know how he sees. Because he sees Ed throw the head. And he goes, my head. And it comes out of his center.
mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm going to be honest. This is like Al's existence kind of doesn't make sense in general. Because why does the suit of armor have capabilities that it shouldn't? I know moving I'll give. Talking? Seeing?
Well, it's not like he's the only one. They show that there are more.
That's part of the problem, and I was gonna bring that up.
Because my thing is, like, I don't necessarily see a problem with it.
How does he see?
But it's like, it's...
This
something
is a
that-
very minor issue. This
Yeah,
doesn't take me out of this.
It doesn't bug me.
But
whatever.
it does bug me. And the reason for that is there's gaps in like a why that would happen. There are eye holes, sure, but there are no eyes there.
I think the suspension of disbelief is just whatever to me.
Yeah.
And I think it's because the story is so tightly written that I can forgive something so minor.
I can't. Cut the thread. F tier.
Like, if this was like Naruto, I'd be like, fucking, you go out of your way to over-explain everything, but this is fucking... Or Hunter x Hunter is a better example. You go out of your way to over-explain fucking everything. Or Jujutsu Kaisen. And this mistake feels fucking worse because you over-explain everything.
Yeah, this is an exception, not the rule. Like with Jujutsu Kaisen, everything is bad. In this one, only this is not explained.
I was telling Maya, I was like, Esau's so funny because you're so, like, honest about your opinions, which is, like, good. But it's like, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, a story that is universally loved by the community. And Esau's like, this story fucking sucks. I fucking hate this.
Bad. People love the anime for the fights. And I understand that. I'm sure people like the manga for the fights later. But it's not well written. Neither is Dragon Ball. That's unrelated. Specifically Z past like Frieza, where Cell gets a little really rocky. Cell itself is fine.
I think
Sorry.
So I agree with mostly about Jujutsu Kaisen. Dragon Ball, I feel like, does better setting up themes rather than telling like well-written narratives. Well-written narratives. Because Gohan himself, at a glance, is really, really well written. But the story he participates in, shut up. He's really well written. Gohan at a glance is really well written.
Yes.
The story he participates in is very rocky.
It's very flawed.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, you're infecting me. In my opinion, it is the remnants of it being a gag manga. Because of the fact that it's kind of gag based, even though it starts off not very gag-y, I think it's like his influence from Dr. Slump, if I'm honest.
Well, I think it's very because of stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
Kind of like Hunter x Hunter.
But there's a difference with Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter isn't like, hey, this is goofy, I'm going to do it. Stuff in like Dragon Ball where he took the guys to the moon real quick. Like writing, there's a problem there.
Retrospectively, you've already set precedent that no longer applies.
Yeah. Stuff with like Roshi being strong enough to destroy the moon at such an early stage of this whole thing. He couldn't kill Raditz? You told me this motherfucker couldn't kill Raditz?
Well, Raditz was a planet buster.
No. Wrong.
That's right.
We don't know that. Filler. It's filler when that planet got destroyed by Vegeta, and why would Raditz be even close to that strong?
That's a good point. Yeah, no, it is shaky there.
Yeah. Oh no, that's not a super Kamehameha. Motherfucker destroyed the moon. His power level is like
it's not a super Kamehameha.
His power level is like 300.
It's not a super Kamehameha.
Blew up the moon.
That's fine, but it's not a super Kamehameha.
I would argue it is.
I wouldn't, because Roshi was like a super Kamehameha. The fuck is that?
When
Goku did it the first time.
When?
During the Tenkaichi Budokai.
Which tournament?
The last one.
The last one. He calls it Super Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
He says that, and that was my argument during the actual recording.
Sorry. you only brought up that he said it, not when, where, and why.
During the relevant portion of what we were talking about.
Yeah, but I was also bringing up like the past.
Roshi never
sees him do a Kamehameha after that. Yeah, I'm aware. Anyway, that's why the writing here is really good, and the writing in all other shonen is actually pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is like for Gohan specifically, he's really well written, but the thing that sucks about the story is that the story doesn't push the focus to Gohan in the manga until super late. It's really sudden. It's the whole time it's like Trunks and Goku, and then now it's like Gohan, you're the main character now, and it's like, okay, no, I'm down, but let's.
All I want to do is see you turn into Super Saiyan. Sorry, I really like that song. All I want to be is a dad who gets to see a Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. That's Piccolo's.
I know it will be great. Oh, I just can't wait.
Piccolo joins in. It's like Goku's
to see your hair, golden spike.
You know, Kami,
yeah. They're Okage.
Yeah. Jokes aside, but there's also issues even within that story where Gohan kind of never changes after that. He doesn't realize like, hey, I know that violence is bad, but like I'm also a protector. That's my thing. That's like
it just should have ended there.
Yeah, it just should have ended there.
It
But
would
like
have been.
he follows the exact same loop after that over and over.
Actually, should have ended after the Videl stuff. They meet, they fight. Gohan kills whatever villain. They live happily ever after. Goku stays dead.
Goku watches him bone from Otherworld. Because he's always watching.
He's always watching.
No, he's always training. Let's not lie.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I miss? Oh,
Super
fuck, he's
Saiyan
dead?
2! Super Saiyan 2!
How did he do that?
I gotta get mad.
Anyway, that's why the writing here is so fucking good. Anyway, there's a blood seal.
Goku Beast!
They show it in the latest volume. Goku and Goten and Trunks fight to show off his forms, and then he goes beast, and Goku's like, "Let me handle it," and then that's where they cut it.
Yeah, I saw.
I was like, "Oh,
I'm so excited to see their reaction.
so excited!"
Yeah.
They also just call it beast,
Oh, sick.
and Goku is like, "Oh, you can just turn on this beast mode." And I went, "Yeah!"
They call it Beast Mode?
He called it beast mode.
That's sick. Dude, Gohan can go Beast Mode.
Which is way better than
Gohan
Gohan.
can go Beast Mode.
I'm about to go beast mode.
That's awesome.
I looked for beast instead of Dragon Balls. Give me a sec.
It should have just been Super Mystic Gohan. Your idea was right.
Yeah, but it's also very wordy.
But it's cool.
Calling it beast mode is also pretty
And
sick.
Ultra Instinct Goku isn't.
Ultra Instinct is just what it's called.
Super Mystic.
Yeah, you're right. You got me.
Ultra Ego.
You got
Orange.
Orange Piccolo is just really
I
funny.
love Orange Piccolo. I'm glad Piccolo gets love, you know?
Yeah. Also, that just kind of shows how weak Goten and Trunks are. They do a lot of cool combos.
But they're weirdly strong, though.
Yeah. They're fighting him in base, and they're like, now we're Super Saiyan, and Gohan's like, I got this. And then Broly's like, what? They can all just go Super Saiyan at will? And everyone's like, and Whis like, yeah, everyone can do that except you.
Even the children? Especially the children.
The children were like, they're crazy good with it.
They can also fuse.
Also, they don't call it Mystic or anything. They just call it Ultimate. They call his Mystic form Ultimate.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That might have been an English change.
I don't remember. Oh, does the fight keep going after this? Sorry, I don't.
Mystic's better.
Yeah. I forgot where he says it. Maybe it's when they stop the fight.
Super Mystic Gohan.
Whatever, I give up. But yeah, it's kind of it's. I like it. I like this where they're going with it. I really like how Armstrong's like, it looks like it's written in blood, and fucking Al's or Ed's like, yeah, it's my blood, and he's like, you motherfucker committed so many like a war genocide. He's like, blood? Oh my god.
No.
Anyway, he fixes them. They warm up. That's kind of the biggest important part to take away from the rest of this.
But it's also like the pain he was also willing to endure to use automail
Yeah.
was.
Well,
like,
I already brought that up.
Yeah, it's true. 2 episodes ago.
Oh, I brought that up this episode.
Did we?
Yeah, when I brought up like all the things he had to do, like the drip feeding.
Right. I think it's also interesting to show that like the contrast to that there is like we mentioned in episode 1, there is regular prosthetics.
Yeah.
And automail is like an advanced exception that you have to go do like surgery for. And then the guy's like, I'm not willing to put up that pain. And she's like, I know a kid who did his arm and leg at the same time. You're a pussy. He's like, maybe I am. Bye.
I'm poor.
Also, Ed has a lot of money, as we found out.
Yeah, we find that out later, a little later. My favorite part is when we're like, Bolt A08. Whoops.
Foreboding.
Yeah. It's very good foreshadowing because we don't even see it in the rest of this volume.
Yeah.
It like happens, like we experience it a little, but like only slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, for what part do you want to talk about next? The library burning down, Scar fighting Gluttony.
Library burning down.
So the library gets burned down. Anyway, what now?
But we never established what Marco's note said.
Oh, Marco's note said the library. That was shown to us, but we just ignored it.
Yeah.
This is where the research for the Philosopher's Stone is hidden.
Yeah. And so Lust interrogates Marco, gets the information. She this little girl walks in at the worst time. And
Why are you bringing this part up?
wasn't this at the end?
Of the last volume?
Sorry, my book. I'm remembering wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I'm mixing up when things happen or what.
I
chapters things
also
happen.
already brought this part up.
I don't think we talked about the little girl.
I brought up, and you were like, it's not important.
That's right. I did say that.
I was like, it's really cool when he makes the blood sign and he stabs her in the stomach and you win. That's not funny. And then you start talking about whatever you were
yeah,
talking
we didn't talk about the little girl.
Because you cut me off.
And I started bringing it up again as a joke, and you just said no, we're not talking about it. So
You-
you're also complacent.
I mean, no, I wasn't. I brought it up and then you just didn't bring up anything of importance.
Not according to my edit. You didn't bring it up at all.
We don't need to talk about this.
You're right, Esau.
See, he's complacent.
I like you.
Why would you?
We're in it together. We're in it together.
Anyway,
I won't let you go down by yourself.
so
Unless you say
Lust-
something crazy.
Lust said, hey, now, give me the information. He's like, okay, I just told him where it is at the library. She's like, she eventually goes to Gluttony. She's like, I couldn't read through all the books in time, so I just burnt the whole thing down. Based, first of all.
Yeah.
And so they
I
get
can't
to
read as fast as the Elrics.
yeah. They get there and they're like, yep, library burned down. And they're like, fuck. And then they just happen to run into someone who's literally read every book in the library and has them all memorized.
Which is like, cool.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I wrote it out. It's Murdoch's 1,000 recipes for a good
Marco.
daily. Murdoch's good recipes for 1,000 days of life or whatever. Sorry, you ruined the rest of the book name in my head. So I'm going to have to like manually rewrite every instance of Murdoch in my head to Marco.
Murdoch.
Also, there's like a weird thing, a weird sense of foreshadowing that I didn't understand till I read it this time. Lust and Gluttony are on top of the HQ for the military. And I didn't get that
It's really cool.
or understand why.
It's really cool in retrospect.
And I was like, what the fuck? That's so fucking foreboding. Especially, you can even see fucking Mustang still in the window as they pans to them. But Gluttony also has a great sense of smell. He smells the Scar. And then they fight. No one wins. But the lady, she's like, oh yeah, I can just rewrite the whole thing. She rewrites it for them. And it's just a recipe. And everyone's like, oh, it's useless. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, a lot of people do this. I write my notes in a travel log, I think his is. Mustangs writes his as dates, like romantic dates.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure if they bring up or if it was like a
Or
side
like
thing.
names of women is what he says.
Well, names of women and dates. And there it is. Yeah, you're right. but it says tonight I'll have dinner at this motel with Miss Josephine. So I feel like he's never actually on dates. He's just doing research on the side.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
But you can't decipher which one's real.
He just goes there.
Did I actually fuck her or did I?
He uses real women, doesn't make them up.
Yeah.
But eventually,
scientists.
Eventually, they're working on deciphering things, and the photographic memory girl gets hired as a fucking scribe to rewrite every book in the library, specifically military stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, everything here is kind of. Oh, sorry, I forgot the end part. I lied. I was just gonna tell a lie.
It is very calm, you know,
Yeah.
compared to what we've experienced, but it's a nice sense of brevity. You know?
This is where they bring up that living souls can make a philosopher's stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's where every joke that I've made up until this point is where David will edit that in.
What I really like,
I like this piece of art.
yes, and I like it too.
Is it color for you?
It's colored for me. I really like this part of the.
God, yours looks so much nicer than mine. Understandably.
Oh, I also get this page spread. It's really nice.
Oh, whatever.
So that's
I
pretty.
think I have that in black and white.
That's pretty cool.
I do. Yeah, I have that in black and white. It's the next page.
But here is the
I have that in black and white.
I have.
Mine's still in black and white. Why are you showing it to the book?
And I'm trying to.
No, you went like this.
I want you to see too. You fuck.
Oh, I can see it.
Oh yeah, well I can see it harder.
No, without the glasses.
Where'd you get those glasses?
Well, Naruto, you didn't know?
I've always had those glasses.
He's always had those glasses.
That's my favorite part. He's always had those glasses.
The worst part is I don't remember what order we made this up in.
No idea. No fucking clue. But I just stitched it together. I think it went well. I think it worked out.
Not suck our own cocks or
when
anything,
they
but
see
like,
this
I gotta get some top.
I mean, when they see this video, that video is gonna be like fucking 3 months old, but
Yeah.
probably have made more by then. Hopefully. I really want to do that. Maybe I'll cut this out. But
Tintin?
no. The Hokages.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so you give Naruto my mansion, right?
The Hokage building was. Your mansion was damaged in the fight. There were so many funds allocated to repairing. I don't think I could have trusted him with.
Me and Naruto were orphans. He left us with scraps and a little bit of buddy. Naruto was off to like fucking fishing in the fucking forest.
Hey, you got to keep your Uchiha house. Shut the fuck up.
Did you say Uchiha?
Yes, he's an Uchiha. Get him.
How's Tsunade doing?
So you said Tsunade was the Hokage?
Sorry, I just can't wrap my head around it.
I'm two people.
I'm two guys now.
Yes, that was the joke.
So, like I just, there's this Always Sunny bit I think is really funny. They want a loan, so they go to the bank, right? But their bank.
Sorry, I didn't notice the embossing of the sign on the back.
Yeah, it's cool. The it has Ed's emblem on the back as well. On this one. There's one book where on the back there's just like another character, and I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was the one with Envy on it. Maybe number 6.
That's
That's sorry, not Lust. That's what I meant. Yeah,
No.
it's two guys.
All right, two guys now.
So
I forgot about Sloth.
yeah, he's the most forgettable of the.
Understandably, I like Sloth. Like, despite the fact that, like,
I like his fight with Armstrong. There's Always Sunny bit.
I like when he's like, I can finally sleep.
Yeah.
Like, this is a mood.
Where they want a loan from the bank.
Yeah.
And their bank teller's a woman.
Right.
So they didn't know that going in. So when they were doing their like, we need a loan. Their presentation was like made for like a guy.
Right.
So there's like drawings of girls with big tits on it, and then it's like, so what am I looking at here? And he's like, well, to be honest with you, I thought we'd be talking to a man today. So I said like, yeah, well, we use sex appeal to like bring it, like, you know, but we could try to cater to you. So we take our shirts off, and they're like, she's like, no, that's not. You don't have to do that. And then they all just do that for some reason. And they're like, and the whole time she's uncomfortable, she's like, this isn't working. Can I talk to your manager? My manager is also a woman. And then they're like, God, what kind of bank is this? They're supposed to be bad people is the point.
Yeah.
But
Bad people can do bad things. Yeah.
But they're like, it's the weirdest bank I've ever. So funny.
They're like a man that can talk to you.
yeah, literally. I have a clip I have to show you after this podcast. I showed it to Maya, but it's really funny. It was inspired, reminded me of the Obama impression we were doing the other night, which was really funny. You want to talk about that?
No.
So me and Esau.
Go ahead.
Okay. So me and Esau were like in the car the other day, and we were, I don't know why, we were doing an Obama impression. Oh, because we thought it'd be funny if Obama called you.
Yeah.
Like, Michelle, Esau's on the phone. You want to say hi?
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, I don't accidentally dial people all the time. You're like, what if it was just Obama?
Yeah. Michelle, Obama's calling. What? No.
How he calls her to bed.
Yeah. Michelle, Esau is calling. I love your podcast. What are you guys gonna do? When are you guys gonna do Naruto? And then it's like,
You want to do this bit?
No, because you were like, you're like, hey, Esau, come over. I got the launch codes. Biden still thinks I'm president.
That was your joke. Mine was drone strikes.
Oh yeah,
I didn't say the launch code thing. I also didn't hear you say it. I just heard Biden still thinks I'm president, and I laughed. Yeah,
it's really funny. Because I thought the idea of Obama trying to convince Biden that he's still president and succeeding is really funny.
No. You see, because you were my vice president.
You're still my vice president.
Yeah,
and
it's in this book. It's like an old ass history book.
Yeah, it's like part of that was I gave you your own vice president, your vice president, Kamala.
I don't know her name either.
Michelle.
She's still the first lady.
Equivalent exchange.
Shut up. You're rewriting your bit here and now.
History.
Anyway, hey, Esau, if you ever need a drone strike, you know who to call.
I got the codes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
back to Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Is that the fucking Full Metal Alchemist?
No, ma.
It's like someone important, like
That's his
fucking-
brother Alphonse.
He's wearing a suit.
Oh, why am I the grandma now or the mom?
Yeah, he looks like. Are you sure? You should ask him again.
I'm sorry. Like, are you the Full Metal Alchemist? My mom really wants.
Just go tell her yourself. You're not.
Can you just sign her? Like, sign it like a page.
How can he talk? Sorry, I already brought this up. I just imagine him making like a high pitched sound because he's a suit of armor.
It's telepathy, or no one just realizes it. He's sending through his mind.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Full Metal Alchemist. We're gonna have so many of those interstitials here. Anyway, back to and then immediately tangent.
Full Metal Alchemist, dude. That'd be so annoying if every time we said Full Metal Alchemist, I did one of those. Stupid.
So they learn about the truth of the fucking stone. The people who were there when he found out told Armstrong because Armstrong's the best at gaining information.
Ed goes through the door. Are you ready to learn the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Maybe some things plus the truth.
All right, get this. Clap your hands.
You made a circle.
That'll be your. This is gonna cost you an arm and a leg.
That's the bit joke I had with you the other day, and that was really funny. By the other day, I mean like 4 weeks ago. It really cost him an arm and a leg.
Can we please just a one-off dub of episode 1 of Full Metal Alchemist? Like, God, these alchemy books are so expensive. It's gonna cost me an arm and a leg. Another one.
Anyway, so thankfully Marcos gave him another hint that was like the truth lies within the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And he realizes like, oh, there's corruption here, and he pinpoints that all the laboratories, including one that was shut down, are specifically laid out. He's like, this one is near a prison, right next to a prison, specifically where there are like inmates and shit.
Yeah.
And he kind of makes connection like they can make philosopher's stones with those death row inmates, and he's like, I would never go there without you, Armstrong. And he's like, thank you. And then he goes there without Armstrong, with his brother. And these two other suits of armor are like, we got them. We'll get their asses. And this just brings up the like point of like, at what point does the suit of armor end and begin? Because that one guy was two guys. He's two guys now.
Yeah.
But the other one is like way more reactive than any other suit of armor. The one that's fighting Al.
Mm-hmm.
I also think his head moves on its own, like when he's talking. No, it doesn't. It just looks like that. But like it looks like he moves his head way more. You can't see that, but I'm gonna place it that way.
He's a lot more expressive.
Yeah, which just begs the question: where does the armor register the soul?
I wonder if it's because there's no one else because the helmet of the brothers were
Helmet's touching.
That's what I'm thinking, is like the helmet's touching, so he can like his soul can also take that part of the armor, whereas the other two, or the other one, was they were two people, one in helmet, one in, so they couldn't occupy the same space.
I actually disagree. I think the first guy is controlling the body for a while.
I have no reason to believe that.
Well, because it looks like he's fighting, because he purposely goes, here's where my mark is. Unless he's like communicating mentally with this Futhermucker.
Could be.
It's possible.
But it's also they've had a lot of time to practice this bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Another really... So they're fighting. They fight, and they're winning. Al's winning. Ed's winning. The guy who... He also... This is where also... Actually, Al's losing, or Ed's losing, and he decides to steal Scar's trick of just stopping at deconstruction.
Which is really cool.
Which is super sick. And he hates the fact that he has to do it. This is where Al starts to doubt himself as an individual, because he's worried that, because I don't remember what this guy, Barry the Chopper, starts to put it in his mind that, hey, maybe your brother just changed you to be whoever you want. I know on me because I kill, and I kill to exist. I exist to kill. That's my thing. And I'm like, that is such a dumb leap in logic. Why the fuck did Al even think that made sense? And then you got to remember that he's a child. He's 13, 14. He doesn't understand. This is a grown ass man, like I've essentially like colting him right now. He's getting colted. And he does, the thing is, like, Barry the Chopper doesn't care if he's himself. He just enjoys killing. But the fact that Al doubts himself should be proof enough that he's an individual. And clearly it's not.
It's really interesting because Al believes it because he's like, well, I am a suit of armor.
Yeah.
Like, my suspension of disbelief is, a little out there.
He not only doubts Ed, he doubts everyone he knows from that point. Or he slowly, it's drip fed here and there. I know we get more into it later, but I just wanted to bring up that this is where those seeds of doubt are born. And then Envy goes and kills, not Envy, Lust goes and kills the suit of armor he was fighting, just the head. And then not kills, actually, it's still alive at the end. For the most part. And that's where it ends.
I really like these first 3 volumes.
You're gonna like every volume from here on out.
I know, it's just so good.
It's a
man.
greatly written, it's an impressively written story.
I think I'm really enjoying so far everything, man. Like, this has been the best start to any of the series we've done.
Every manga we've talked about out of the water.
So far, the best one was Pokemon, but already this is a lot better.
This has a very similar density to Pokemon, in my opinion.
But I don't feel like
at every point it's like none of this is fluff. None of this is something that didn't matter, because there was a lot of points of Pokemon where it's just like red,
which was fun. I mean, they serve different purposes. But it's also like, with that, there were a lot of times where I was like, man, this is taking forever.
Yeah, and a lot of points where I'm like, they're like, flashback.
And there's a lot of points in Fullmetal Alchemist where I'm like, oh, I can notice the link, but it's also like I'm getting so much information that I think is really cool, and the world is making more sense to me.
This is like a full course meal where Pokemon is kind of like a bunch of snacks.
Yeah,
with a full course, like with like a small course.
It feels like it really doesn't pick up until yellow is the pro tag.
You have a lot of breadsticks.
Yeah.
And then you get yellow, which is a bowl of ramen, a good bowl of ramen,
Mhm.
or chicken if you're David.
Yeah.
I gotta go to that ramen place.
Yeah. We could have gone today.
Then we'd have to record in your studio.
We wouldn't have to. We could just come back.
I mean,
We'd have to leave early though.
my watch didn't turn on when I flipped it. There's no time.
Have time. But yeah, the story's good. I'm excited to keep going.
I'm not.
We move to something else next week.
Yeah, you need to get volume 4 before we start.
No, I can just read it online in legal means.
I mean, I can just lend you the
No,
volumes.
that's gonna mess me up.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
If you just read my book,
No,
you're right.
I'll figure it out. We appreciate you guys watching this episode of Full Metal Alchemist, the Em and Weeb Full Metal Alchemist. Please rate the podcast 5 stars. Please like and subscribe, and let us know what you want us to read next. We already picked, but we'll hear you out. So please like the video, rate 5 stars, and also, I don't know, comment something, like tell us what you like about Full Metal Alchemist without spoiling.
Please interact. It helps us a lot more than you know.
But stop calling me that.